The first recipe in this video is a vegetable pakora. For the vegetables, you'll need 1.5 carrots and 1 onion and 1/2 red pepper. So first you're going to chop the onion, then you're going to add this to a bowl. Then you're going to proceed to chop the rest of the vegetables. So here's me chopping the 1/2 red pepper. It's very straightforward. You chop some vegetables, you put them in a bowl. Pretty self-explanatory. So, like I said, put in the red pepper in a bowl, the same bowl as earlier. And then add in 1.5 carrots. So I'm grating this into the bowl. Then I'm adding the spices to a mini bowl. So it's 1/2 teaspoon chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon turmeric, and 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Then I'm adding the rest of the ingredients to the bowl. So there's 1 cup of chickpea flour, then 3 tablespoons of rice flour, and then add the spices that you put in the little bowl, and then 1/2 cup of water. And now you're going to mix this all together till it's nice and combined and there's no clumps of flour. So just keep mixing. And then you're going to heat a pan and put some oil on it. And then you're going to put bits of the mixture on. You don't need to use your hands, just put the spoon and put it directly on the pan. You can do them whatever size you want, but I just put them so it's not too big and so they're not too thick, so they can cook thoroughly. Then you're going to flip these after 2 to 4 minutes of them cooking on the pan. The slightly annoying thing about this recipe is that you're going to have to do them in batches. So the first ones will have cooled down by the time you have finished them all. So a suggestion would be to leave them in the oven and leave this what would you call this? This, whatever you would call this, leave this in the oven with the first batch, and then as you add the second batch, put them in the oven, the third batch, so it's heated for when you want to eat them all together. So now it's time for the taste test. So I think I'm eating it cold right now. It is better warm. I'm going to say I did try it yesterday. In the spirit of being completely honest. You can taste the raw vegetables a bit. It has a nice crunch to it, but if you're not into that, maybe you wouldn't like it. But overall, I think it's really good. It's really simple. Honestly, what takes the time is filming every step of the way as you are doing it. So if you're doing it yourself without that part, it'd be much quicker. So I think this is really good, and I definitely give it a try. My family really loved it when they had it for dinner last night as well. So the next recipe is a couscous salad or tabbouleh. So first you're going to add 1.5 cups boiling water to a measuring jug. Then you're going to add 1/2 stock cube to that and whisk it all together until the stock cube is combined into the water. Then you're going to add 1.5 cups of dry couscous to a saucepan.
And then you're going to add the veggie broth you just made to the saucepan and mix it all around, and then put the lid on and set it aside. Then you're going to start chopping the vegetables. So I used 3 spring onions. I chop these all up, and what vegetables you use is really flexible on your personal preferences. So you're going to add the couscous to a bowl after you set it aside for 5 to 10 minutes with the lid on. You don't need to add heat, you just need to add the boiling water in the saucepan and put the lid on. Then you're going to add the spring onions you just chopped to the bowl. Then you're going to add 1 chopped cucumber to the bowl. I lost the footage of chopping the cucumber, but here's that anyway. And then I'm going to cut the peppers. You can see it's very repetitive. Even all the videos I'm making now is you chop stuff, then you put stuff in a bowl, then you mix stuff. That's kind of what it boils down to very vaguely. So here's the 1.5 peppers once they're all chopped up. Then you're going to add these to the bowl with the rest of the couscous and the vegetables. Then you have a handful of tomatoes. I used 2 tomatoes and 11 cherry tomatoes, but the recipe said 4 tomatoes. So I'm not really sure how I came up with this combo or decided on this amount, but it's just what I did. So here's me just chopping all the tomatoes up. Chop, 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 choppy chop, chop, chop. And then we're going to add the tomatoes to the bowl. Now we're going to add some seasoning. So I have a juice of half a lemon, which I'm just squeezing with my hands here. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of tomato paste, tablespoon of soy sauce, ¾ teaspoon of ras el hanout, 3/4 teaspoons of maple syrup, and then mix these all together. I think I also added some other seasonings like some balsamic vinegar, and it's just really to your personal preference. I might have added some white vinegar as well.
Now for the taste test of the couscous. I really like this one as well. It's really refreshing due to like the dressing that's mixed around in it, and there's nice like taste from the raw tomato, pepper. Really refreshing kind of summer's day. It would be nice for a picnic. Just like a regular kind of tabbouleh, so I'd really recommend it as well.